Good morning. Today I'm going to show you how to make this crocheted face mask. It'll come under the chin securely and across the bridge of the nose, and the chains that we'll make for the ear loops will secure it in place. We're going to be using Omega Sinfonia yarn. It's 100 grams to 200 meters. It's a mercerized cotton, and it's a very good yarn. It's available in limited colors at Hobby Lobby, and it's also available in about 85 colors from the Woolery in Frankfort, Kentucky, and you can purchase online through them. So you see the size 100 grams, 200 meters. And be sure you get mercerized cotton. We're going to be using 4 stitches aside from the chain stitch. We'll be using single crochet, half double crochet, and a slip stitch. And we're going to use a crochet hook size D, 3.25 millimeter. And this is the one that I'll be using. To start, we're going to make a chain of 38 stitches. If you're new to crochet, I'll try to show you the stitches. I tend to get a little fast, so I apologize. But you're going to start with a slip knot. Bring the top short end of your yarn and make an X. Put your hook into that loop and draw up a loop. It doesn't matter how big this loop is to start with, because when we pull these together, we're going to make it fit our hook. And we'll weave this end in as we go along. So 38 chains. Now also you're going to want to put the yarn around your fingers in the way that gives you the best tension. For this project I needed my stitches to be a little tighter than normal, so I brought my yarn around my little finger, behind the ring finger, in front of the index, and across the top, front of the middle finger, and across the top of the index finger. I hold my work with my middle finger and my thumb. Now some people hold their work with their index finger and their thumb and work their yarn from here. That's fine. Whatever works for you is the way that you'll want to crochet. And that you can also hold your hook in a knife position or as a pencil. For most of this tutorial I'll be using it in the knife position, just because when I hold it this way sometimes my fingers fly up and get in the way of the stitches. We're going to chain 38. To make a chain stitch, you bring the yarn over the top of your hook and pull through. And that's your first chain. Yarn over and pull through. See if I can zoom the camera just a little bit and get a little bit closer. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. That's 4, 5, 6, yarn over, pull through, and that's your chain. And you see the distinct stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 7 so far. So continue to do that until you have 38 chains. Now I've cheated and gone ahead and gotten 38 chains, just because I would go on and on with this if I didn't. Take up all day doing one thing. So our hook is back into position. This is 38 chains, and you want your 38 chains to measure about 15 centimeters or approximately 6 inches. This one's just a smudge over 6 inches, but that's okay. As long as you're in that general ballpark, the ear straps are going to draw it up snug on your face. You can also adapt this pattern for children if you need to. You can eliminate some of the center double crochets and make it slightly smaller, and you can also eliminate a few rows and take some of the height of it so that it is adjustable for children. Alright, we're going to get our yarn back around our fingers here like we want it, and we're going to start in the second chain from the hook the loop on the hook doesn't count as a chain. So here's our first one, and here's our second one. And we're going to start in that second one. We're going to do a single crochet. For single crochet, you insert the hook into the chain, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook. Again, we're going to do 8 of these total. So there's our first one. Insert into the chain, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. That's a single crochet. That's 2. Insert it, yarn over, pull through. That's 3. And you see I'm going to move my hand down as I need to get to the stitches. Yarn over, insert the hook and then yarn over, pull through both loops. And then if you're not sure of your count, you can look at the top and see the V. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've done 4 of our single crochets, so we need 8. So let's do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to do 1 half double crochet. So we did 8 single crochet. Now we're going to do 1 half double crochet. Yarn over before you insert into the chain. So you bring the yarn over your hook, insert into your chain, yarn over, draw up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Now you're going to draw through all 3 of those. So yarn over and pull through all 3. That's your half double crochet. You do 1 of those. Now we're going to do 19 double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, insert into our chain, yarn over and draw up a loop. We have 3 loops on the hook like before, only now we're going to yarn over and draw through 2 loops, yarn over and draw through 2 loops. Again, yarn over, insert, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Once again, slowly. We have to do 19 of these. Yarn over, go into your chain and yarn over and pull through to 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now if you lose count and you're like, oh my goodness, how many have I done? You can go back and count your stitches. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 8 single crochets, our 1 half double crochet here, and we've done 3 double crochets. So again, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, a half double, and 3 double crochets. So we've got to have 16 more to get to 19. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up, and just keep going until we get 19. Yarn over, go into your stitch, yarn over, pull through, pull through. And you're going right into the center of that chain stitch. And you see sometimes I have to help the stitch get on the hook. That's okay. That just means I've stitched it a little tight in that chain. You can chain a little more loosely, but be careful. If you get too loose, your starting chain will be too long and you'll end up with a mask that's a little bit too loose on your face. So you want to be a little bit snug. So it's okay to push that stitch onto the hook as you're working your way through it. There's nothing wrong with that. and you see that tail is curling, just roll it back out of your way. Keep your work where you can see what you're doing. Again, we're keeping going. We're going to go for 19 double crochet, and then in those last 9 stitches we're simply going to repeat our 1/2 double crochet and our 8 single crochet to finish out the row. Almost there with all of our doubles. Yarn over, insert, draw up a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, yarn over. Now I can count to see how many I've done. I can go back, and there's my 1/2 double crochet. So here's my first double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 16, 17. 2 more. So that means I should have 11 chains left. So that's another way you can check your stitch count. And it looks like I'm right. So 2 more. 1, 2. And we're going to come back now and do that 1/2 double crochet. So yarn over, insert into your chain, just like you did for the double crochet. You get to 3 loops on the hook. Only for the 1/2 double, we yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. That's your 1/2 double. And finish off the row with 8 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and remember the single crochet doesn't have a starting yarn over. The single crochet goes straight into the chain and draws up the loop. You have 2 loops on the hook. Pull through 2 loops. Into the stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. Alright, one more and we'll be at the end of our row, right here in this last chain. That's your very first chain you made when you started. Go right into that, and there's our first row. So again, it's 8 single crochet, 1/2 double crochet, 19 doubles, 1/2 double, and 8 singles. Now, to start the next row, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And we're going to work in the top 2 loops of the stitch. Now, this chain does not count as a stitch. So we're going to be starting in the top of this first single crochet. Now, I like to work my ends in at this point, my starting end. So I'm just going to bring that yarn up. This just saves weaving it in at the end of the project. You don't have to do it this way, but this is just how I like to do it. So we're going to just simply come into the top 2 loops of that stitch, and I'm going to lay that yarn right over top of my hook, and it's going to hide out of the way. It's not going to change how I do the stitch, and I'm going to do 8 single crochet, 1 in each of the ones from the previous row. So here's 1, go into the top 2 loops, and again I'm working that yarn in, so I'm laying it across the top. 2, and I'll do that for 3 or 4 stitches, and then I'll let that tail hang and cut it away in a few minutes. Again, into the top 2 loops of your stitch. There they are. Yarn over, draw through both loops. Okay, and you count your stitches the same as you did before. 1, 2, 3, and you have them there. You're going to insert, and I'm just going to let that tail get out of my way now and finish out my row of stitches, and I'll work the rest of that tail in on the next row. So the pattern is going to be 8 single crochet, 1/2 double crochet, 19 double crochet, 1 half double, and 8 single crochet. And you're going to complete this row in that way, chain 1 and turn just like we did on the first row, until you have 18 rows of work. So after this second row, you're going to have 16 more rows to do. And once we get those 18 rows, again I've cheated and worked ahead, your mask will look something like this. There's that edge where we did our chain 1s and turns. And we're going to now finish off our mask. We're going to get our fingers back with our tension. Now I've just finished the 18th row. I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. And I'm going to slip stitch in every stitch across the top. To do a slip stitch, you insert your hook into the top of the stitch just like you would for a single crochet, only this time you're going to draw through both loops. Insert and draw through both loops. You don't do that extra yarn over after you insert and pull through. Insert, pull through, pull through. This is a slip stitch. You're going to slip stitch all the way across the top. We're going to just keep going here, working our way across. Insert it, pull through both. Insert it, pull through both. Insert it and pull through both. And again, I'm going to change my hand position just so you can see. If you hold pencil style, it's the same motion. It's actually a little bit quicker motion for me with pencil style. But again, I needed my stitches to be a little bit tighter, and knife style I tend to stitch a little tighter than if I'm holding like a pencil. So just slip stitch all the way across the top. Keep working. And here we go, still slip stitch. So you'll have 37 stitches in the width of your mask, and you'll have 37 slip stitches to get across to the other side. Just a few more to go. Insert and pull through, insert and pull through, insert, pull through, insert and pull through. Continue across. Got five more stitches after this one. Again, you're catching both of the loops of that stitch below. It's easy sometimes to just catch the front loop, so be sure that you're getting both loops, because part of what this is doing, it's getting you to the other side, of course, but it's also adding some stability. Now in this last one, you might have to work that loop up to get both loops on there, but that's okay. Work with it until you get it. And that has now given us some strength across the top of our mask. And we're going to do that across the bottom as well. So we'll have that extra strength. Now, here we're going to make our ear loops, and we're going to chain 44. This is another adjustable measurement. If you need it smaller, do fewer chains. If you need it longer, just do more chains. So we're going to yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is just like the starting chain. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, we're getting to 44. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And again, working, holding your work as you go. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, get a little more yarn here, 34, 35, 36, 37, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. So once you've chained your 44 or whatever number is correct for your facial measurement, you're going to join to the top side with a slip stitch. So go into that corner stitch, yarn over, and pull through both loops. So that's a slip stitch, just like we did across the top. Yarn, insert into your next stitch. So you're now working in the bottom part of that starting chain. Pull through and pull through. And you're going to go all the way across the bottom so that you have 37 slip stitches across the bottom. Now that first slip stitch into where you joined your ear into that corner, that's your first slip stitch of that row. So don't count and get to 36 on the other end and go, oh gosh, I missed one. No, you didn't. That one went into that first stitch. So just continue to slip stitch across the bottom. And again, you'll see it beginning to stabilize that bottom, giving it a little extra heft to it, a little extra security. It's going to tighten your mask up a little bit. Slip stitch all the way across into that chain, pull through, pull through. Again, this does not involve any additional yarn over. The only yarn over is when you pick up that loop to pull through and pull through. So don't do that extra yarn over for the single crochet, or you'll have another whole row of stitches, and that'll create a little too much height to your mask. It'll be a little bit too bulky, come up a little too far onto your nose and get into your line of vision, and we don't want to do that. Again, finishing the slip stitches across. We're almost done. The nice thing about this is once you get these slip stitches and that last chain done, all that's left to do is weave in your ends, and then your mask is completed. Depending on how fast you crochet, it takes me, the ones I've made so far, is just under an hour to make each mask. And I'm sure that, once I've got the pattern in my head completely, which it pretty much is now, I'll go a little faster now. At that last slip stitch, I've come to the end of the row. I'm going to chain 44 again. 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, keep going, 16, 18, 19, 20, 24 more, 21, 22, I keep drifting out of the camera, don't I? 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 10 more. And there's 44. And we're going to join that to the top of the other side. Go into that top stitch under those top 2 loops, or you can go into the side of the stitch. You just want to get enough that you have a good secure joining right there. You're going to slip stitch that together. So you're going to just yarn over, pull through, and pull through. No extra yarn over for this. Alright, to finish off, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to cut away our thread, and then we're just going to pull that loop out, and there's our nice secure knot at the end. You're going to turn over, and we're going to work this into our stitches so that we hide it and secure it. So just come into your stitch. Anywhere is fine. You just want to get inside so that that is now going to become kind of embedded. So just draw that through. You can use a yarn needle to do it. I like to do 2 chains at the end because it gives you just a little bit of extra heft to get into that first pull of it, and then you're just going to find a loop. Now you don't want to go all the way around your stitches because that'll get out. You want to secure it into the single loops of some of your stitches, and you're just going to pull it through. And again, a yarn needle will do fine. You can just weave it through the stitches. You can use your hook, or you can use the yarn needle. So just find a couple more of these to pull through. And again, I don't want to wrap around the stitches because that's going to come out very easily. I want to get into that stitch nice and snug. Pull it through. Do that several more times, and then once you've got it to where you feel good about how secure that is, just cut the yarn away, and there you have your completed crochet mask. Now there are, I don't know what they're called or how you get them, but there are some antiviral or antibacterial and microbial inserts or those sorts of things that are disposable that will fit in there. But I took a gentleman's handkerchief and cut it into 1/8 size pieces, and I folded that over, and it fits very nicely into the mask, and that gives you just a little extra layer of protection. It's soft. This is rather porous, and just as a reminder, a mask, this is not a medically approved device. This is not PPE that you would find in a hospital or medical setting, but it does give you some protection. But please, this is not a convenient way to say it's okay for me to go out. It's still not okay to go out. Continue to practice your social distancing, new words and new terms in our lives these days. Continue to just stay at home and do things with your family and protect yourselves and your loved ones. But once you have that in there, and I've worn this, one of these that I made with that in there just to see how it worked, and it actually sits very snugly. It stays very secure, and then you just simply slip it on, and there you go. You've got your crochet mask. Stay safe, love Jesus, and God bless America. Thanks for watching.